I guarantee you that after watching this video, you'll be able to pass the Salesforce Certified Associate Exam in just 3 days. That's how long it took for me to do it, prep, and do the exam. And after I explain it, you'll see that it's not really that crazy, and you can actually do it yourself too. Now, if you're interested in certifications in the tech space, interested in careers or tech reviews as well, please like and subscribe and stay tuned to this page. Now, although this exam is beginner friendly, you need a strategy. So the first thing I did was I looked at the exam structure. What do they need me to know? People who have done the exams before, how did they feel prepping for the exam and doing the exam? Looking at the structure of the exam, I saw that it was divided into four specific parts. So we have the basics, the user management, the security and data aspect, and the business value. And I also saw that you need 62% to pass, which means you don't need to know every single little detail. It just means you need to know the basics. And so I broke my prep into manageable steps. My very focus on day one was just understanding the basics of Salesforce and its ecosystem, really. So I started using Trailhead. Now, this is the best thing to use if you're trying to get into Salesforce. It describes each Salesforce role, whether it be admin, marketer, all the different things. And there are little quests as well. So, like little challenges that teach you about Salesforce as you go through. So, I followed these three specific trails: Salesforce platform basics, navigating Salesforce, and user management for beginners. These were the three trails that I followed. And a pro tip, by the way, don't just read information about these aspects of Salesforce, engage with them. So Trailhead has quizzes and little challenges, like I mentioned, that you can do that can reinforce in your mind what it is you do or do not know. Now, once I had gone through these quizzes and challenges a few times on the first day, I was quite content with what I had done. It took me about 5 to 6 hours with breaks in between to really wrap my head around Salesforce basics and keep practicing and achieve a 90% average. But on day two, I switched to user management and security, which are heavily tested on. And I broke these down into three things. So we have the profiles and permissions sets, which you really need to know the difference between these two. Then there is data security, who can access what and why. And then we have business use cases. How is Salesforce used in the real world? How are you going to use it if you work for Salesforce? And how do other companies use Salesforce? A great exam questionnaire that I used was ExamTopics. So this was for practice questions. So after using Trailhead to understand the modules and doing the little quizzes on Trailhead, I went to ExamTopics where I could also relate with other people who did the exam, but also see their reasoning behind why they answered certain questions a certain way. So understanding the correct answer is great, but understanding why the other answers are wrong is also very important. That's a pro tip. Also, take notes while practicing. Write down concepts that you're not really sure of and then do research on them. By day two, I had covered basically every aspect of Salesforce that I needed for the exam. Now we move on to day three. Day three was all about revision. What could I not really remember from day one? Or what was it on day two that I didn't fully understand? And so I was hitting the books. So I did revision on the topics that I had noted before that I didn't understand fully by using YouTube or just a couple of Google research or even Reddit, looking at other people who are taking the exams and how they discuss this. And obviously on ExamTopics as well, you have the questions and you have people explain why the answers are like so. And then I took a timed mock test. And so I timed myself on Udemy with the same amount of questions. So you feel like you're in the actual exam. And once I had an average of 90% in the few questionnaires on Udemy, I knew that I was ready for the exam. And I just watched a couple of quick summary videos and I had my test booked for later in the day on day three. And once I took my test, hey, it was all smooth sailing. Now I was nervous whilst taking the exam, but looking back at what I did, I still felt confident because I knew that I had studied, I had prepped, I had done quizzes back to back, I had done questions back to back. And after taking the Salesforce exam, my advice to you is don't overthink it. Honestly, once you understand the Salesforce ecosystem, you just need to think like a businessman. How is Salesforce used in the real world? And that will help you answer the questions properly. It's as simple as that. You can do it also in 3 days. Just stick to the resources mentioned in this video and stick to the timeline. If you're prepping for the Salesforce Certified Associate, or if you're prepping for other Salesforce exams or any tech certifications in general, drop that in the comments. Let me know what position you are in the tech space and how I can help. And if you have any recommendations that you want to see on this channel as well, I'm all ears. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned to this channel.